Yo, nephew, hand me that bar stool. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. You know what it is, and for what it's worth. You can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline.
Welcome to 21st and Prime. My man Rome, Jamie Dukes. We're about to get into it. We got so many thoughts. Pro Bowl, Hue Jackson, the Olympics, Lovie Smith. We got a brother hired in the NFL. What is this world coming to? And a few other thoughts that I may have. Rome, we have any sponsors that you need to talk about before we get started?
Oh, I got to talk to the people about the Chevy truck. We need to let the people know about that Silverado because 2021 was a big year for the Chevy truck. And we're not just talking about the Silverado, the Low Man Award, or Coach Prime, and the goodness that's happening down at Jackson State. We're talking product news. The Silverado ZR2, Chevy's new flagship off-road truck, was introduced in September and in the spring, and you'll be able to see that thing over at your Chevy dealer. What's next for 2022? Just a couple days ago, Chevy released their first all-electric Silverado built from the ground up.
I need it in black. I need it in all black with probably a tan interior or a gray interior, something like that, but I need that.
Yes.
Black and tan's been good to you, Coach. That's been good to you.
Yeah.
That's right. So head over to Chevy.com to learn more and reserve your Silverado EV today.
Guys, let me tell you how good God is. So God is unbelievable. See, sometimes we always thank God for the things that we have or we're going to get or we can see it coming or the peace, the joy, which we should. Well, sometimes we forget to thank God for the stuff that he kept us away from. Example, I was supposed to go to the Pro Bowl. I was supposed to coach the Pro Bowl. I was supposed to be at the Pro Bowl, and we encountered a snowstorm that disabled me to get to the private, not public, the private airport. And I couldn't make it. And I'm sitting up here thinking, if I had made it, and I was on the sideline in my Coach Prime mode and my headset on, doing the doggone thing, with the swag as I am, with the shades on, and I saw a fully equipped flag football game taking place in front of me, what would I have done? Being who I know I am, I probably would have took my headset off like Jesus took his garments off and laid them in the tomb and walked off. Because there's no way I could have watched that right in front of me transpire. Who was the spokesman for the Pro Bowl players that said, guys, we're just going to play touch football on national television? I'm happy that I wasn't there because I would have been livid. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. I understand the players, well, we don't want to get injured. Well, why you go? Don't go. Don't go. Don't. Let's stop it. I don't know the solution. I'm sure you guys may have a solution for this problematic thing that we've encountered year after year after year. But I'm thankful that I wasn't there, guys. I'm thankful.
I think a lot of it comes down to what's been happening in the NBA. And bear with me for a second, but in the NBA, they say that in the 80s, in the 90s, it used to be more rough. People would shove you over. Charles Oakley would come across the top and lay the boom on somebody. But then everybody started playing AAU ball, and they know each other. So they're better friends with each other. So they don't want to talk trash to each other. So they don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to do anything that could be offensive. And I think the same thing's happening in the NFL. Everybody knows each other. Everybody loves each other. Everybody wants to be liked. They don't want to be the mean guy who's lowering the boom in the celebrity all-star game. They don't want to play too hard. And I think people just have to not want to be liked as much.
So, I'm a solutions guy. Okay. So first of all, it's all about money. So first thing, we got to up the ante.
No,
winning team.
no. They've already upped the ante. They've upped the ante. That's not a solution. They've already upped the ante. Not only that, my last tenure there coaching, I got it. Whereas not only the offensive player gets the MVP, but the defensive player, a car, a truck, but the defensive player gets the MVP truck as well. So forget the ante. The money is already up.
Are we talking 500,000 cash up?
Somebody giving each player $500,000 cash. You don't get that for the Super Bowl. Why would you get that for a Pro Bowl?
You asked the question for a solution.
That money is not the solvency.
It's cash.
No. Money medicates the pain, but it does not bring solution to the problem.
For that game, that's other problem. You talking about life now.
No.
You talking money in life now.
Money does not bring solution.
I'm saying, hey, you show the guys, every one of y'all get to walk out of here with $500,000 cash.
Still not gonna play. Still not gonna play. I'm not doing that because the guys on the bench, I'm not paying you nothing if you didn't contribute to us winning. I'm not doing that. Back in the day, I'm telling you, at practice, I can remember Chris Carter, Jerry Rice, Andre Rison, Mac Irvin. Dude, we went at it at practice because I was afraid, Ron, that if you caught balls and you beat me here, you're going to think you could beat me over there, back across the water when we were in Hawaii. You're going to think you could beat me over in the States. I didn't tolerate it. It was too much self-pride, man.
Pride. It was pride.
I remember playing offense over there because I was playing both ways, and I caught a curl. As I was catching the curl, I could see the late, great Junior Seau coming downhill to seek and destroy, and he hit me. I said, oh, my God. Like, it was like that. We didn't want to get beat. I saw a guy get beat and just run off the field like nothing happened. Like, what is wrong with you? You beat and you laughing? You gave up 6 and you laughing? Man, ain't no way in the world.
I heard an idea. I heard an idea this week. I want to run it by you fellas. The idea was, instead of the Pro Bowl, you get the 2 worst teams in the league with the 2 worst records, and you have them play for the number 1 overall draft pick. Because that'll give people some incentive to have to want to play.
I would not want to watch Jacksonville.
No, the team already earned it. The worst team already earned it. So they don't have to play another game. They already earned it.
I'm not watching Jacksonville play. No, I'm not watching.
Already earned it during the season. Only way you're going to get this, the guys that don't want to go at it, leave them at home. Leave them at home. Because they've taken the money up. They've taken all the things that would lure a player to give more, but they just won't do it. So do away with it. I don't want to see that again. I can't see that again as a fan.
I like this. I like the skills competitions more than I like the actual game. Like, I like them trying to race and everything.
It should be skill competition, and then you should just let the Pro Bowlers coach the Senior Bowl or something like that. Let all of them coach a position and do something like that. Let the Senior Bowls get that.
So you just thoroughly discussed. Well, let's move on, Coach. Since you were so thoroughly.
Hue Jackson said he received text and email supporting that Jimmy Haslam asked him to lose games in exchange for bonuses. Now, this is what came to me. I didn't say this. I know it sounds like me, but I didn't say this. Someone said if Hue Jackson got paid in bonuses for losing games, he's filthy rich. Somebody said that. I did not, Jamie. I'm telling you, I did not say it, but somebody said it because they looked up the records.
Well, how about this?
He was 1-39. What? He was 1-39 or something over 2 years, something crazy.
So you're filthy rich. You got to be filthy rich.
Well, do you realize that not only the Denver Broncos may be up for sale, but there might be the Miami Dolphins and also the Cleveland Browns up for sale?
Okay, let me. I'm so glad you said that, Jamie, because I have a solution to all the minority hiring problems. Because we're going in it the wrong way. We're trying to entice billionaires that's at least 50 or 60 years and older who grew up at a different time in the era to hire who you desire them to hire, when in fact that they are where they are and they're a billionaire because of the decisions that they've made personally. assisted by a staff, I'm pretty certain. But my point, you cannot tell a man that's very, very, very successful who and when they're going to hire. You can't tell Jamie what to cook in his own kitchen. You can't tell Rome what to put on in his own closet. So how in the world are you going to tell a billionaire who and what ethnicity to hire? It's not going to work. But this is what you can do, NFL, instead of crying, because some people say, well, Coach Prime, you had several African-American coaches just a few years ago. Jamie, right or wrong?
That's correct.
Okay. And I know you had a couple years, I know they lost and others lost, Caucasians lost too, but you're not seeing the African-American coaches receiving a second chance or even a first chance. Well stated. Instead of fighting for the coaching aspect of it, Jamie, won't we fight for expansion?
We are.
Okay, won't we fight for, what I mean by expansion is, why don't we fight for, there's room for another team in Texas. There's room for another team in Arizona. There's certainly room for another team in Georgia. So why don't you fight for expanding to 3 more major cities and mandating that there are African-American ownership in those particular cities that you've expanded in?
What about the UK though? What's wrong with London too? They play 7 games.
Ain't nobody going away with that play. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. If I wanted to go somewhere else, Jamie, and this may shock you, I would go to Mexico.
Sure.
I love my Mexican brothers.
Yeah.
That's where I would, if I wanted to expand,
but you gotta add too.
Not out of the country, I would go to Mexico to expand.
Well, here's the thing though. But okay, so let's look at this from a business perspective, because that's what this is about, business.
And that's what I did.
Yeah, no, but in expanding the business, the NFL for 20 years has tried to crack the code on London. That's why they keep scheduling the game. They're saying somebody who comes and presents the rights because they want Europe. That's expansion.
Ain't nobody living there, and it's too far.
You don't have to live there.
So what, you just go play that
season?
You just go play that? No. You still family's gonna have to move. The wives are not gonna allow the husbands to go for the whole season, and they're not there. Trust me on that one.
Wait. Well, okay, let's stay right there. Wait. Stay right there.
Spain, let's go to Mexico.
If Deion Sanders prime time, no.
That was booze. I mean, they saw a white hand come into the thing.
Okay. You so fast, it might have been your. If prime time decided he wanted to innovate and be that in Europe, your wife was going. Whichever wife you had was going where prime time said go.
Why you got to say whatever wife I had? Why can't you say whatever wife you had? We had the same number. We 2 and 2.
Yeah,
we 2 and 2 now. Roan is 1 for 1. We're 0 for 2.
But the thing is, I never was prime time, so I didn't have that. But she would have went. But
like I was, all right.
But hang on. But both of them would have went because I said let's go. Unless you got a better plan to get up in this BMW, you gonna get your and you going where I'm going. Go ahead,
that
Ron.
would work. I'm not for expansion in Europe. I'm for expansion in Mexico. I'm for expansion in Georgia. I'm for expansion in Texas, and I'm for expansion in Arizona. That's where I'm for expansion in. Any other cities, Rome, that you think are worthy?
I can tell you don't want to go anywhere cold. I can tell you're not trying to go. You don't want to go anywhere cold. But are there enough quarterbacks to man 36, 37 franchises?
There's enough quarterbacks and there's enough quarterbacks. Can I say that? Did I say that right, Jay?
Yeah. You did.
That's enough. That's more than enough.
How about to start an HBCU quarterback on each? Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let me get to that too. We got to start showing what we desire. We can't get mad, Ron, when the NFL is showing their hand and we doing the same thing at the HBCU level now. Okay?
What do you mean by that?
Same thing.
What are you doing the same?
What I'm saying is diversity. We're not showing diversity, not just with black and white, but even with the women in pivotal positions at that level. So when we sit up there and say, well, we're not getting any African Americans hired, what if somebody said, well, you're not hiring any Caucasians?
I think that there would be a little bit of an outcry if you forced teams to have an African American owner. But sometimes you need to take measures like that. But I also think people would take an immense amount of pride in playing for like a new franchise that's equivalent to like a HBCU at like an NFL level. I think white dudes would be honored to be on the team too, because that's being invited to the cookout. If you're on the all black team with the all black owner and you're one of the white dudes, you're going to the cookout. Like that's a badge of honor for them.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Rome. So let's pick up right where you are with one of the problems to me with the in-game experience in the NFL now is too dry. I think the NFL needs to adapt the HBCU strategy when it comes to games in the stadiums. Why can't we have a band playing, between the breaks? Why can't we have a little more hoppity-hop than what we're doing to give it a better, more environment? We need a little more juice.
Because they thinking they don't need it. At HBCUs, we feel like we need it. I love the environment. I love it, Jamie.
No,
I love it 100%. I love it. I embody it. I adore it. But at the NFL level, they don't think they need it because they think they already have an attraction that they don't need the assistance of outside entities to enhance your game.
That's why our Atlanta Falcons.
I like it.
That's what the Atlanta Falcons need to fill up the dome every time, as opposed to
all you gotta do is win. You don't need it. You gotta just win. If you win, Jamie, the place is full. If you win,
it ain't full like it used to be with Matt Ryan.
Since Moby Dick was little.
No, Matt Ryan just 5 years ago or whatever had them in the Super Bowl. 4 or 5 years ago.
They were packed.
They weren't. No. I was at the George, my friend George.
Jamie, it was packed 5 years ago. Jamie,
just when Deion was coming to town, bro.
Stop. They were
Falcon fans at Deion Sanders. Tell coach at Deion Sanders. Tell coach it wasn't packed like that.
If you want equality, you gonna have
Michael Vick night.
Yeah. You don't have equality starting from the middle up. You start from the top down. So when you're shooting for the coach, you're in the middle. You're starting from the middle. You got to go to the top if you want equality.
And I think that if any of these teams wind up in these new cities, if they're somewhere in Texas, if they're somewhere out in Arizona, people are going to need to be buying new homes. And if they do that, it's got to be cross-country mortgage. If they're moving down to get into these new franchises in the NFL owned by black men, you got to be getting that cross-country mortgage every time. That's the only person that you should be hitting up to get your mortgage, because they're going to work hard for you every day. They're going to be a team of loan officers who are dedicated to getting it done and finding you the best possible terms on your loan. They have an average close time of 21 days, which is ridiculously fast. And they've got a wide variety of loan types, which means that they've got everything to cover everyone with a huge variety of products that cover everything from renovations, refinances, to everything in between. So take it from the GOAT and go with the mortgage goats at Cross Country Mortgage, and you can feel like a homeowner. Go crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool. Cross Country Mortgage will take care of you in the home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage and LLC NMLS 3029, all loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. We do need to celebrate Lovie Smith, though. Jamie,
Lovie needs a new home in Houston. He does. Well, now take that back. Lovie was already in Houston. I didn't, Jamie, I didn't even know that. I just found it out that Lovie was already in Houston. Did you know that?
Oh, we lost Jamie.
Jamie, you're muted.
Oh, I knew he was in Texas.
No, I didn't know he coached for the Texans last year. Did he do? Just check. Can we check the fact?
No, I knew he was at the University of Texas.
No,
but I
I heard he was on the staff last year. Can we check that fact? Yeah, I didn't even know that.
I didn't know
So
that.
it makes plenty of sense to hire Lovie.
No.
How it does not make sense? Lovie had a great career in Chicago. Lovie stayed in the game. He went to college. He stayed in the game. He stayed visible. How is Lovie not a good candidate, Jamie?
I didn't say he wasn't a good candidate. I just believe that team needed an offensive guy because that position, they got to get Deshaun back in the building or do something with that asset.
No, stop.
But you still,
you can't go back there. You cannot have a guy who does not want to be there. Jamie, come on, man. Ain't nobody in the locker room down for that. I don't want nobody that don't want to play for me.
This is the NFL is based on offense. Okay, get rid of him. Do a trade for Kirk Cousins. Do something to get that. You need an offensive guy in the building. I'm pretty sure they're going to get that, but you can't say Lovie Smith is not a good hire.
He was the DC.
I think Lovie Smith is a great coach. They need an offensive guy.
They just said Booz just said he was the DC at Houston.
They need an offensive guy.
Jamie, just because the head coach is a defensive-minded guy does not mean they wouldn't have an offensive-minded team. That don't make sense, dog. Just because you're this, that doesn't mean you're going to excel more in that.
It generally means if you look at the breakdown of teams in the football league, Rome, help me out with this.
Okay.
The coaches who call the plays on offense, like in LA, in San Francisco, I could go on and on and on. The guy in Jacksonville now will call the plays, helps the offenses go better. The guy in Green Bay.
He's a head coach, does not. The guy in Green Bay, all the teams that you mentioned got a quarterback too, Jamie. That pretty good.
So does Houston. But Houston's getting rid of that. That's what I'm saying. Trade for Kirk Cousins. But you need an offense.
Now you want Kirk Cousins?
No, I'll take him. If you got to have a quarterback.
You got a gun and shot at him. Now you want him? You just shot at him in Minnesota. I'm talking about you wounded him. You shot his whole shoulder off. Now you want Kirk Cousins in Houston? Jamie, stop.
Kirk Cousins is a 9-10 win guy all day. All day.
They trying to win it all. They're not
He's
trying to win.
He's a notch better than Fitzpatrick.
They're not trying to win 9 or 10 games. They're trying to go to the playoffs and win it all, Jamie. That's what they're trying.
Hire a defensive coach that was already there.
Sooner or later, you got to stop somebody.
I got a question for you about this situation. From a lot of the reports, it seemed like the Texans wanted to hire Josh McCown. Josh McCown hasn't done anything except for coach his kids' high school football team. But
ain't nothing wrong with that, Ron. I coached my kids' high school football team, and it worked out pretty good for old Jackson.
It did. It definitely did. And so do you think that the Texans felt like they were forced to hire Lovie Smith because of the backlash? Or do you think that – so where do you think
the other several teams didn't care? I think the familiarity of Lovie Smith and Lovie being a man of good disposition.
He's a great dude. He's a great guy. Great guy.
Old silver beard. I don't like all that. But other than that,
I love the beard. The beard looks good. You had the beard when you had the beard.
Yeah, but that was during the pandemic.
You look good though.
Yeah, I'm not doing that now. Yeah, I got it. No. Gillette, make sure I'm shaved properly. But no, I love Lovie, and I think they did the right thing. I don't think they did the thing that they had to do. You can't force a billionaire to do what he don't want to do. Lovie is a good guy, and he's right for that franchise because it gives them stability, and that's what they need, stability. I see you smiling. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Rome, I just want you to tabulate how many Houston games Coach says ain't nobody cares next year.
Ain't nobody cares. Yeah, speaking of ain't nobody cares, we got a slow start at the Winter Olympics. Why do we even have Winter Olympics, guys? Why is it?
Skiing and the stupidest sport of all time, which is not a sport, curling. You know what curling is, Coach?
Curling is qualified housekeepers. That's all it is. It's housekeepers that ain't no joke. I'm serious. I could get a team of housekeepers that ain't no joke that could win the Olympics. That's all curling is.
You know what's crazy about the Winter Olympics? There's not one sport that you could be pour and play. Every sport, you need access to facilities. You need access to really high-end equipment. Like there's no ski resorts in the hood. There's
so
no like
there ain't no black people in the Winter Olympics. That's what you're saying. That's pretty much in a nutshell what you're saying.
Jamaica has a bobsled team.
Jamaica has a bobsled team. Booze just said. First of all, how do they practice?
You mean them four?
How do they practice? See, that's the kind of stuff that nobody asks the question of. How you practice, man? You're Jamaica bobsled team. How do you practice?
They use wheels. The roller wheels, so they'll go to like one of those parks and they'll make.
They ain't got no amusement park in Jamaica. Come on, man. Jamaica ain't got no Six Flags. You can stop, Jamie.
No, you have to go train in America.
But
Coach.
like the Summer Olympics, track, you don't need anything to run track. Either you're fast or not. There's basketball courts anywhere. People can play soccer all over the world. People play baseball everywhere. All these sports are for anybody. If you could swim, just hop in a pool. But
Isn't it the time when we get the Caribbean baseball tournament? When is that coming? Because I love that.
That's in the summer. That's the Summer Olympics. Right when Prime Lee Chen is in the Summer Olympics too.
Ping pong stuff.
Yeah. In the Summer Olympics,
I like the ping pong stuff.
Here's some of the stories that came out of the Olympics stuff. So they got this real heightened security about COVID, and so what was interesting is the people who are testing positive for COVID, they're isolating them, but they're serving them the exact same meal 3 times a day, and for snacks. So they're getting like noodles, and they're getting a little pasta and some other stuff. And they're getting at the same meal. So now the people who are in isolation are having to deal with issues with depression.
Well, how? They're dealing with depression. Ron ain't dealing with depression, and he's eating hamburgers every day and every meal, Jamie. I don't know if you know about that. Ron's diet right now. Ron,
yeah. I lost the game of chance. And so for the entire Super Bowl week, I have to eat In-N-Out every single meal.
Oh, wow.
And In-N-Out doesn't have chicken, hot dogs, different options. They got one thing, hamburgers. They got burgers every meal. So I'm having burgers without the bun. I'm having burgers with 2 burgers and the cheese between, making a grilled cheese out of just the burgers. I'm trying to make grilled cheese without the ingredients. I'm trying to make everything.
His face is a little puffy, Jamie.
I'm puffy.
He was kind of looking like he was,
he looked a little puffy.
I'm greasy. I'm puffy. I feel, but I'm not depressed though.
You're taking a lot of dumps. How many dumps a day?
It's 4 a day. I'm a 4 a day.
You're not wearing any drawers right now.
Wow.
You're not wearing any drawers because there's no way.
I've gone through them all.
Do not wear white drawers during this week, please.
Does anybody still wear white underwear?
I think some people does.
No.
I really do think some people does.
Not the people who are eating In-N-Out every day. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
It's too dangerous.
It really is. But everybody had different challenges they have to do. Some people have to rollerblade for 2 hours a day. Big Cat has to belly flop every day.
Hey, Big Cat, when he slipped in the pool, Jamie, you hadn't seen this. Please go to Big. When Big Cat slipped and trying to jump in the pool, dude, that was the best ever. But then when he got the swan dive and he hit it belly flop first, that was the most beautiful thing ever. But Big Cat's fall in the pool was classic.
He's belly flopping every day because we
you got to shoot that to me, Ron.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'll send it over to you, James.
So on the depression, Coach. So you asked the question, why the depression? Because people have trained all their lives for this one moment. And so the agony. I mean, remember what happened with the girl, the Olympic gymnast who stood up and that, so mental health is real. But this really, Coach, circles back to the Pro Bowl. This is one of the preacher's sermons. The reason why they're playing touch at the Pro Bowl is the same reason why, because they didn't get a chance to compete at the Olympics, that they need mental health. We just have a different person now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm saying basically we got soft kids playing in the Pro Bowls now. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, that would never have happened. Somebody got killed. Somebody went out the stretcher. But that's not. But now our kids, because we wanted them to have the best, they're softer. Period.
It's true that.
So for the same reason, the athletes are now needing some help with depression because they are in isolation because they got COVID, because kids are softer.
Could depression be adversity as well?
That's what it is now. Yes.
Right. Because
it wasn't that before.
I believe in mental health. I believe in all that, Jamie. I really do. But adversity is, you're gonna have to get past adversity, get through adversity, get on the other side of adversity. You can't just tap out, man. You can't tap out and take a TV timeout and just ponder the thought. You got to keep going.
But you're wrong now, Coach. Stop. No, I'm not. Hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. By the way science has developed and mental health has developed, and being a kinder and gentler, no backhand, no discipline. Right. Now you have to take that in consideration. And
I do at Jackson State. I really do. We've had a few cases of kids that I felt like were suffering from mental health. We have a guy that I deal with. I tell the coaches, I got it. We dressed him out last year. Good kid, great kid. And the coaches came to me during the game and said, Coach Brown, if he say one more thing, we gonna put him off the sideline. I said, I got it. I said, dog, look at man. Come on, man. Just, dog, we dressed you out. Just come on, just be nice, dog. Just don't be a distraction on the sideline. Because I love the kid. We had some great talks in my office. I love him, and the whole coaching staff know I love him. They say I'm the only one saving him. And I know he's dealing with some issues, and we've talked about those issues, and I really got an affection for him. So, but there is some things there. There are some things there, man, and that's deep rooted. And I just hope he can contribute. Like, if he can contribute, there's a balance. If you can't contribute, there's a problem.
Yeah, and I think that you like framing it as adversity as opposed to framing it as a depression, which sometimes seems like you can't get over or you can't get out of. How you mentally frame it as just an obstacle that's just like a mountain that you're going to have to climb is a healthy way to frame it. And I'm sure people might be mad if I say it's healthier, but I think it is. I really think that that's a better way to frame things, as just like, okay, it's going to be bad that you have to eat the noodles every day because of what's going on, but it's going to make the story that much better. And you spent your entire life working towards this. So instead of saying, you know what, I have this depression that's going to cloud my entire experience, now it can be a springboard for this is what I got over to make my Olympic experience transcendent.
Guys, speaking of transcendent, Jamie, I know you don't keep up with this. I'm pretty sure Ron has. Nelly made a mistake, allegedly, of putting a picture on social media that he was getting some Vince Scully, and he made a mistake and put it on social, then deleted it. But you know, you can't make those kind of mistakes. Social's gonna grab it and they're gonna run it. So now he tried to take it down and he tried to apologize. But here goes the problem. You've shown what transpired, but the real problem is you've shown the woman that it was transpiring with. Now, I'm pretty sure you're right. You're exactly right. It's going to be a payday because you can't put her in that position. So where do you go from here? I'm pretty sure that's the next chess move by her team. I'm pretty sure she has a team now. But that's what has transpired. I'm sure Ron saw it, Jamie. A lot of people have seen it.
I heard about something. I just, I run from all of that. When I hear something bad with somebody, a ball player especially,
you don't know this, man. I mean, some people say it's bad. Some people say it was good.
It was good. Yeah. We're going to find out how good it is. What do you think, Ron?
I think that it's not as bad of a thing as it would have been in a different era. Now It can be a springboard to people having a different type of career. A Kim Kardashian and a Paris Hilton, these women have made their entire fortune.
I thought you were saying
is he on Husbands of Hollywood? Is he on that?
I think he
You take
was.
that, Booze?
What is it?
Real Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin Hart.
With Kevin Hart.
Is he on that show? Because if he's on that show,
Who's that? Who's this?
Nelly.
Nelly?
If he was in the cast once upon a time.
Right.
If he's in that cast,
there might be something to it.
Great timing.
It's incredible timing because when the video came out, he was doing an interview with Kevin Hart. He was sitting right with Kev when it all came out. So there might be dots to connect right here.
Oh, get to it. Get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
But I think that
he was on one episode.
No,
in an attempt to make more money, Kevin tries to get in on Nelly's investment.
Is he on this upcoming, not the past?
Oh,
like it's about to come out now. It's about to come out now. Is he a part of the new cast still?
He should be.
He should be. He did a great job when he was on it. Jamie, I don't know if you watched that show. It's hilarious.
I did. I've seen episodes.
Real Husbands of Hollywood. Yep. Yeah, he's coming back.
He's coming back, so it makes sense.
It was a smart move.
But I don't think it was smart because
Sherlock Sanders.
The woman, her face, she's in action.
But I don't know if he's gonna have to pay her.
Oh, sure.
I think
somebody's gonna pay.
Why would he have to pay her, Ron?
I think that she can get paid though. I think that there's things like OnlyFans where now she's the girl from the Nelly video. She puts up the OnlyFans. She doesn't even have to do another tape. She could just sell pictures of herself in bikinis. People pay $15 a month and suddenly she's a millionaire.
As a man, do we have to do that to feel better about ourselves, or is it like a personal highlight tape? Like, I'm just saying, why do we do that? Why do we put the camera on that action and replay the footage? Like,
you want me to go get Dave? You want me to ask Dave?
Yeah, Dave got a lot of footage. They've got more footage than the Titanic.
He's got the all 22. He got every angle.
Yeah, Dave's footage is aggressive as well. By the way.
Yes, I think some people are just into it, but it has to be
man. That's where it is. Where people are just kind of voyeurs. They always dream of it. It's all fantasy. You know, it's like the Mile High Club. Like there's now a service that they're selling it as a private jet service. They're selling it as join the Mile High Club.
I mean, you come out cheaper just going to the top floor of a tall building and going to the bathroom or something like that.
No, because it's the plane. It's the plane.
You come out cheaper that way.
It's the plane.
You come out.
And then Bezos is going to do then they're going to do in space Mile High Club.
It's a lot of money to get up there with Bezos.
People are just getting tired of regular of just relating in a regular way. They're getting freaky.
They're tired of just the regular military pace.
Yeah.
They're getting tired of you. Are you tired of that, Booze? Just regular?
Yeah.
Booze says he's tired of it too. He wants to expand.
Very tired of it.
You got a girlfriend, Booze?
No.
Booze don't have a girlfriend. Booze, I'm gonna get you a sister in Mississippi and Jackson. I guarantee you can get tired of that.
Before we get out, we got to talk about the Super Bowl, gentlemen. I need to know who your picks are. I need to know which way you're leaning.
Home team. I'm going with the home team.
Home team.
Dude, can you imagine? Like in the history, it's never been a home team to play in the Super Bowl. In the last 2 years, it's the home team.
It's crazy.
Okay, is that rumor true that they say the Super Bowl now is going to be played in Dallas? I heard that.
I think that's false. I think that was just a rumor.
No, I think it was a joke because
they had it as a backup plan. If they couldn't do it in LA, they were going to do it in Dallas.
But then the rumor came out. This is the joke, guys, and I had to read it slow to get it. They said in the last 2 years they would never fathom that the home team would be playing the Super Bowl. Therefore, it's a home field advantage. To make sure that never happens again, they say they're going to play the games in Dallas. Insinuating, Booze, Cowboys are never going to make the Super. So that was not fair.
That's terrible.
It's a great joke. You're a Philly guy.
It's a good joke, though, but I'm going the opposite way as you fellas. I'm riding with the Bengals. I'm riding with the Bengals hard. I think the city needs it. And Joe Burrow has been a revelation over the last couple weeks.
I love Burrow, but this is the problem, Ron, if we want to get into it.
Okay.
There's a guy named Jalen Ramsey, man. That's pretty darn good.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
And he's going to take Jamar Chase out of the game.
And what happens when he does that?
Then you got T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd right there.
Okay. This is the problem, Ron, that I foresee.
Okay.
If you could get to Tom Brady, you can get to Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow's offensive line has been very accepting of people getting back there. What playoff game was that where they sacked him several times? Who were they playing against?
The Titans, maybe?
The Titans. He had several sacks. Something like it was crazy, a number of sacks, maybe 9. It was crazy.
No, it wasn't 9. It's follow 99.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but they got home to him. I love Cincy and I love the ride.
Yeah.
This is a lot asking. This is a lot to ask.
Tough ask. Yeah.
And let me take this while I'm saying it. Joe Burrow is so good that he's changed the trajectory of the whole franchise. Am I right or wrong, guys?
Of course.
So I just want to put it in perspective for fans listening. So when an owner comes and asks a head coach, probably week 12 or 14, when they say the season's not going good and we got an opportunity to get the first pick, and that first pick is a quarterback sitting there like Joe Burrow, or Hue Jackson, and the season has not gone well, and you got an opportunity week 12 to 14 to get the first pick, and the owner comes and say, hey, man, I need these games. Don't try to win now. We've already lost. Don't try to win now. Let's go ahead and do what we've been doing. And I give you a bonus, but we need that first pick to get that. That's how that stuff works, guys. It's not like I don't believe somebody's, first of all, is not right to do that. Let's underscore that. It's not right to tank a game. I would never tank a game. I couldn't fathom trying to lose. It's hard enough to win, but to try to lose, that's tough. But I couldn't fathom somebody doing that for the whole season. I'm pretty sure that statement, Jamie, comes week 12, week 14 to say, hey, man, let's be consistent with what we've been doing the whole darn season and I'll take care of you. But we need that first pick.
So what if what you think is going to happen happens and Matt Stafford wins the Super Bowl? Now we have back-to-back seasons where a quarterback is winning a Super Bowl later in his career with his first season with a new team. Do you think other teams will try to chase a transplant quarterback?
That's an anomaly. I think you look at that as an anomaly. The one thing that the Rams were looking for was a guy who could drive the ball down the field. They added that one piece. And so sometimes I think chance, history will remember it more as chance than anything else, because that's what they were looking for, is a guy who could drive that thing and he that big route, hit it on a move. And
who's the player of the year too? Honestly, we're not mentioning him, but Odell's father is the player of the year. The play that he pulled to get him out of Cleveland will go down in history as one of the biggest plays ever.
How was his father involved? Explain how his dad was involved.
He prompted the tweet or whatever that ended up getting him out of Cleveland. That was the tweet that he said.
I didn't know it was a specific, the one about Baker Mayfield? Or
Yes.
Okay.
That prompted them to release Odell.
Okay.
And Odell now is right where he desired to be in California.
In LA.
Doing what Odell still does.
With a new life.
And being content with being the two.
Yeah.
Something that you would have never fathomed, that Odell is content with being the two. Probably personally, inside, he does not see himself as that. But shoot, with that grown man on the outside there,
but they got two grown men. I
love me some Cooper Kupp, guys.
Yeah, no, he's a great player. I'm not saying he's not.
I really adore Cooper Kupp. Yeah. I really do. He
runs routes. He runs the route tree.
I'm looking for a Cooper Kupp right now. Not necessarily he has to be white. He has to be black, Hispanic, Asian. A guy that runs routes, make plays, and you can count on him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
He doesn't have a down game either. He doesn't have a bad game. There's no game.
He works his butt off in practice, understands the intellectual aspect of the game, He's a smart guy. That's what we don't give great receivers credit for. Like even T.O. People don't understand. You can't catch that many balls if you don't know the game, if you don't know defenses, if people don't give T.O. the credit of how smart he was. Jerry Rice, Mike Irvin, Rise, and some of the guys that are even in the Hall of Fame, how smart they were as receivers to understand defenses. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marvin Harrison, all those guys, Reggie Wayne, all these guys that are historically, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, these guys that were really, really great at the game, but they had to. You can't catch that many balls without understanding defenses. You can't.
But Randy stands out because, see, Randy, like you, was a blessing and a curse guy. You know what I'm saying? Because in other words, your talent, was so much. JJ was asking me about you and Bobby Buck, and I said when Bobby Buck was at Florida State, Bobby was fast. He was probably a 4.3 guy. I said, but Dion that was something else. I said, that was just something else, and Randy Moss was like that at 6'4". He was just something else. Jerry Rice and all that. But Randy Moss was something else.
He was different.
With a high football IQ.
He was different. Well, people don't give Moss the credit, too, for having the IQ. Yeah. They didn't understand the IQ until he went to New England. Mm-hmm. They didn't understand that this guy's smart. This guy knows the game. He knows defense. They just saw him running deep, outrunning people. They didn't understand. You got to do more than that to accumulate that many catches and yards.
Yeah, there really can't be a dumb wide receiver, can there? If you're that successful.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. It can't. It can't be. It can be dumb anything. Any position you can have dumb.
Yes.
As long as man is created, you can have dumb.
There's a better chance there's more dumb at the receiver position. And it's better now. But when we were playing in times past, because you could tell the guys who were bust, you could tell at receiver were dumb. Mm-hmm. Because when you got to the NFL, they couldn't understand. Well, you got Hanford Dixon. You had some people nobody know they would lock you up. Kevin Ross, and nobody knows who Kevin Ross is. Kevin was in your Kool-Aid everywhere you went. Everybody knows that. Darryl Green and Dion. There was a lot of corners in the league who would lock you down, and if you didn't understand how to run right routes and speed and everything in full speed all the time, as crazy as that sound, because you had to be able to create some dimension to yourself.
That's right.
But Coach, it's past your bedtime. I know you got business.
I'm just on the record. I'm going with the Rams. I'm just letting you know. I'm on the record with the Rams.
I'm on the record with the Rams. I'm on the record wherever 99 is, and the dude came from Denver to rush the passer. Them people over there, that's who I'm with. And I think that the Rams just have too much pass rush.
We also have host Ron is getting back to his hosting duties. The new season of Coach Prime is coming out. It's going to be really good. I've seen several episodes. Dana Dane did his thing, man. Dana Beers did his thing. He's Dana Beers by night, and he's Dana Dane.
So Coach, so let me ask you about Ronnie. So you've been greatly satisfied with the narrative and capturing the essence of the Coach Prime seasons with Ron as John Facenda.
Yeah.
It's this season, this second season is a big step up. The first season was incredible. The second season, the storytelling, the way that it's shot, the storylines themselves, the stories that happen this season, it's a movie. It absolutely is a movie, but it's too long to be a movie. So it's chopped up into several episodes, each one of them more worth watching than the last one.
It's good. It's good. And you know what? The underlying thing, Jamie, no one really knows what happened to me. But we're going to unveil that during the doc.
Really?
And how tough this season was emotionally, mentally, psychologically, physically. Wow. We're going to unveil that. So it's going to be tremendous. And then the anticipation of the new season with all the new ingredients that we've added to this cake is going to be extreme as well.
Can't wait.
When you start up with the new season, I mean, like with the players and practicing.
We've already started the off-season program, which is unbelievable. And summer workouts, that's mandatory. It's 100%. If you're not there, you're not there. You know what I mean? If you're not there, you're not there. You're not going to be there. So that's how we get down at Jackson State.
In the voluntary mandatory program?
It ain't no voluntary. We ain't no voluntary. You got to be there.
Voluntarily.
You got to be there. Let's just say that.
Love it, boys. Well, this In-N-Out's calling my name, man. You know what time it is. I gotta go eat a burger.
Hey, just don't wear no white drawers. Just please don't do that. Don't do that.
You know what it is, and for what it's worth, you can catch me on the best corner 21st. Prime time, shine time, always in the game, never ever on the sideline. You know what it is, and for what it's worth, you can catch me on the best